everybody, welcome back to the dumbest modeling channel on all of YouTube, Pit Stain Hobbies. We're back with some COVID, so pardon the extra throat clearing. Yeah, we were in London and we had a great time, and we came back and now I'm sick. But we're back on the U96 U-Boat from Hachette Collections. Link down below, go check it out. It's an awesome model. There's a lot of modeling involved and a lot of modeling opportunities over your standard part work. So you could do a lot of fun custom painting and detailing and weathering and all sorts of stuff. Lots of options for that. We're starting off on pack 5, but I already pirated all the torpedoes from stage 17 to paint them up, give them a little bit of extra detail. So those are already dealt with. So we're going to start off the kit with we're going to start off the pack with kit 18. Every partwork company, it's like kit, stage, pack, issue. I get confused. So pardon my terminologies if I mess up. But we've got stage 18, kit 18 here. We've got, looks like the ceiling for this compartment, I think, most likely. And some ceiling bracing, fun. And a bulkhead. And we got some, this is what we're interested in right now. Oh, is the health and safety card. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the UK loves their health and safety notices. This is great. DE, Italian, let's see, German, Italian, then Polish, oh, then English. Okay, fourth in the list. Collector's item for adults, not suitable for children under 14. Maybe I shouldn't be building this. That's okay. I'll make it through. If anyone hears me choking, call 911. Oh, God. Ugh. Why did I have to get COVID for a third time? You know, screwing up is my speciality. But man, you know, sometimes I'd like to fail at screwing up and just not screw up. We're going to snip off these little vertical rails that go in front of the bunks. And we're going to get these stuck together and glued together after we snip them off of the parts tree, or the parts sprue, or the parts runner. So many words for the same darn thing. Yeah. But if you haven't clicked the links below to go check out the model, you should. It's a really cool model. And my Amazon store link is down there. I make a few cents here and there from it. But all my little tools and supplies, for the most part, are in that jumble of shopping lists. So what we need to do is, firstly, we're going to pull up my buddy Todd's website, myU96build.com, because he goes into some really good detailed photographic how-tos of how to install things. But basically, 2 of these tubes are not like the others. And you want the 2 tubes that have the little peggy part sticking out the back. And you want the longer bit at the bottom. And we're going to take one of these rails with the shorter part at the bottom near that pin, and we're gonna shove it in there carefully. And yeah, there we go. That fits in there. And then the same thing on the other side. Get that shoved into. Come on now. Go in there. And these actually might need a wee bit of glue, or I might just be going blind as usual. Yeah, they just need a little glue. So we're going to glue those in. Give me one sec. Alrighty. Well, those 2 are glued together with our good old friend Tamiya Extra Thin. And I'm not quite following the instructions exactly the same way Todd did it, because, hell, I probably know better, which means I'm wrong. But I'm going to glue on the next section of railing, because these are the middle 2 posts right here with the 2 pins. And I'm going to glue on this next section on the outer, and then I'm going to glue that onto there. I'm going to glue that one onto there, and then right onto there. And we'll be right back, and I'll show you how it all goes in. One sec. Alrighty then. We've got our little bunk bed rails glued together, nice and easy. Make sure our pins are in the back there, and you see they're still a little flexible. That's because we used Tamiya cement instead of crazy glue. Just my preferred medium. So now we want to get a little glue on all 4 of these pegs at the bottom and a little glue on these 2 pegs right here facing back. And it's going to go right in those 4 holes down there. Say hello, COVID. Hello, COVID. Sorry about that. See, even when I'm under the weather, I'm working hard to entertain people and also to keep up with all these models because they just keep coming in. Okay, down in those 4 pegs there, and you can give it a little flex to get them into those little bunk holes. Oh, if anything comes apart, don't worry about it. It's all gonna jive together in a second here. Get in that little hole. There we go. And then this one, and those. Hold on. You know, this one on my test fitting earlier. This all went together a lot easier. Well, maybe I should have done it Todd's way. Todd's way or the highway. And there we go. One moment, please. There we go. They're all in their little homes. And there we go. And they're pegged in properly. Looking good. Very nice. And I'm just gonna touch these joints with a tiny little dab. Tiny little dab of that thin cement. Just a little drip. It'll wick in to all the little nooks and crannies. And be careful with this stuff. It does melt paint. But it's nice because it melts the plastic together instead of just crazy gluing it. And there's no chance of a white haze of doom forming. So that's it for the railings. Let's see what else we got to do here. I'm sure that could have gone easier if I did it the way my buddy did it, but who knows? Okay. So we got to build these little tanks. And it was surmised, well, they're compressed air cylinders, according to what I'm reading here. And, oh, my buddy painted them blue. And honestly, I think that looks snazzy. Adding a little pop of color every now and then. So we're just going to basically snip these out. Don't snip off those ends right there. You just want to get them off the sprue. One end is flat, and one end has a little nip coming out of it. I don't know what I can say on YouTube these days anymore. And we're just going to use some thin cement on those pegs and glue those together. And I'll be back in a sec. Oakley dokley. These are glued together now, and we're just going to hit them with the airbrush with a little random kind of bluish paint. I'm going to use this ultramarine blue. It doesn't really matter. Something vibrant, but not too dark, I think, is what Todd said. But this should work. It's this one, yeah, it's a little lighter than the other blue I have. So that should be just fine. Load up our trusty little airbrush and get those sprayed blue, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, well, these things will be making a regular appearance on the build videos for this model. The AK Real Colors acrylic markers. Beautiful, beautiful markers. Love them. Our tanks are painted blue now, and I gave them a little flat clear. I'm going to go over the straps here. So if you want to see. Go over those straps with a little bit of the dark aluminum. That's quite nice. And we're going to do that also to the end caps and the little valve and the end caps. And then I'm going to weather them up a little bit, like my buddy Todd did, because it looked great. And it's a good idea. And it's fun. Give me one sec. Okie dokie. Well, our little tanks are painted up, and I didn't weather them quite as much as my buddy did, but we're just going to shove those down in the holes there. And they press fit pretty well. I am going to, however, put a little bit of cray-cray glue, little crazy ex-girlfriend glue, from the bottom onto those 4 posts. And then I think we are moving on to the ceiling section. So 1 second, please. Alrighty, well, those are gluing. And while they're gluing, we're gonna get busy here. So we're gonna take the roof, I'm gonna take this part, and we're gonna put it into there. So I'm just going to hit it with a little dab of my Tamiya Extra Thin. A little bit on there, a little bit on there. I'm just gonna throw her into the slots. And I'm just gonna hold that in place until that glue starts to set. Super fun things happening. Watching glue dry, my favorite sport. 1 second. Alrighty. Well, this little fella's glued on there, nice and stiff. Very good. Then it sounded odd. We got our last couple bits here. We got some screws, which are not labeled. Thank you. Love that. And we got this this little bow hydroplane drive. And we're going to take it this way with the angle facing back, and we're going to shove it into there. And it kind of fits on its own, but a little dab of glue won't hurt. So let's give it a little tap of CA Love. The CA glue is certainly faster, and for some things, it is a better option. Get that on there. Then what we're going to do is take this fella right here, get another tiny bit of CA glue right in that little slot there. Tiny little dab. There we go. And glue her down. And there we go. Just like that. Focus, you frack. And then, then we're going to put it into the upper hole here, into this ovally hole, and get the tabs lined up with those little slots. Why are you giving me hell? Did I go the wrong way? No, that's the right way. Let's what are you doing? Why are you not going in your home? Are you too good for your home? Oh, there's a center slot too. Come on. Am I doing something wrong? Let me see. Let me put it the other way. Oh, it goes in way easier that way. Okay. So put it in that way. Whatever you want. Tiny bit of COVID in the mic, and a tiny bit of CA glue right there. We don't really need it, because what we're going to do is try to stand this up against something. There we go. And we're going to take one of these little screws, and just one, and oh my god, it's such a large screw, but it needs the tinier PH0 screwdriver, and get one right in the middle there. Okay, so now that's all assembled. And now we're going to glue our torpedoes in. So we're going to take our 4 torpedoes, and you can see all the posts, and you can see we get the little holes, and we're going to just go ahead and glue those down and pop those on there. So let me get that done real quick, and we'll be right back. Okay, so that's it for 18. All of our torpedoes are glued onto the ceiling. And that little rod's there, and that little screw's there. So that's where we're at now. Let's go over to 19 and see what we got here. Oh, 19, another piece of the hull. Quite nice, quite large, and ow, quite metal. Put that there. We got a little plastic bracket here, and we got a handful of little screws, and another health and safety warning. Oh, you EU and British requirements for all these. We have no safety warnings in the US. Well, we do now. We used to not. So we're going to take this guy and take this fella and put it right down in here. Looks like, yep, right there. And we're going to get 4 AM screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget to lube your screws. Dip them in the little schmoo a little bit. All right, and let me get those screwed in, and 1 second. Okay, now that we've got those screwed in, we're going to bring out the front of our hull. Oh my God, this thing's getting big already. And basically the same thing here. 4 more AM screws to connect this to this, and I'm going to need a bigger workbench for sure. This is just entirely too much. This is insanity. How do they expect people to build this? I mean, honestly, my workbench is like, oh, it's like 12 feet long, but I mean, I've got so much garbage in the way. How am I supposed to manage? I might have to clean. Oh, God. Don't make me clean my bench, Hachette. Please. It's inevitable. I'm going to have to clear space. I'm going to have to make clearance for this giant thing. Boy. Oh, dear. And, yeah, partworks, they just keep coming out. And then, Comic-Con's coming up soon, and you're going to have all sorts of other things getting announced. Wink, wink, nod, nod, if you don't already know. But, yes. Stuff. So this thing is cool. This is going to be very heavy. It is going to be very heavy. It's also going to be very impressive. The fit on these hull plates is quite good so far, I gotta say. They're nice and tight. Not a lot of gappage going on there. You can see it's pretty tight. And then this is just the bottom. Then you get the top on, and everything ties together, pulls together a little bit better. So that should be quite nice. Get you screwed in there. Little. There we go. There we are. There we go. Very nice. Oh, that's one long sausage. Yes, getting quite lengthy, and this is less than half the length. Yeah, pretty much. So there we go. Is that it? That's it for 19. Now for 20. We're going to put together the bow compartment. So all this stuff is going together along with this, and it's going to get shoved in there. So let me go through these instructions real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's 20. I already popped this off because I kind of had a feeling, because it was really tight, and kind of everything sort of self-ejected. But yeah, this is all our parts. We didn't lose anything. But we've got all these fun little doohickeys to cut out and glue on and all that fun stuff. So a lot of pre-painted little gribblies and things there. So that's quite nice. I'm going to start with this plain one here and cut out these first 3, and I'm going to get those glued on, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we've got one part glued there, like so, one glued in there, and then this one I hit with a little gray green and a little rubber black from from this thing. You can get a discount. You go to a Mish Toy, like Michigan, mishtoy.com. and use code PITSTAIN2024, 15% off. Blah blah blah. Shameless plug, but it is a discount, so anything helps. We're going to take our two little green wheels here. We're going to snip those off the runner, and this plastic is white underneath the color, so strategic location of where you put these wheels could be important. So, you know, you're kind of looking at this from this angle on the outside. So this little inside wheel, you're probably not going to see a damn thing. The outside wheel, though, is... Where in the hell did it go? Oh my God, Houston. Houston, we have a problem. One moment, please. I found it. Didn't go as far as I thought it went. I heard a ding way behind me, but apparently it bounced back. But yeah, you just squeeze them in there, and there's a tiny little speck of white sprue on the wheels. But if you just put it sideways, you're never going to see it. So, nice and easy. And now we've got this part here. We've got these three little blue guys, and a brown guy and a gray guy. And a little brown guy we're going to snip off here. And if we look at it, you can see when you snip it off of the parts tree, there's going to be a wee bit of white plastic showing. So we can find a very similar brown in here, I'm sure. I go with brown. Why not? That'll work. Let's see. And that is, no, it's not a great match. Yeah, too light. One moment, please. Honestly, this is probably going overboard, but I just did a little bit of regular brown right there. We're going to plop that into place right there. Now that does need glue. These green little wheels did not need glue, but this fella needs some. So I'm just going to hit it from behind with a little extra thin cement and let it sit for a second and chill out. One moment. Okay, so that's in there. We snipped off this little gray part here. And I'm just going to put a little tiny dab of Tamiya Thin on those two holes. I'm going to shove that into place there, just like that. And some of the darker ones you could just use like rubber black or dark gray or whatever you got handy, black Sharpie, just to cover up the little white sprue cuts, because it could be potentially slightly annoying to you. Now we have an easy solution, I believe, for these three, because they're going to end up with little white sprue cuts. What you do is just, they face down or up. I would face them all down, and you won't even see them. Otherwise, you could try to touch up these sprue cuts, but they go into these three little slots here. So I'm going to get those snipped off and glued in, and I'll be right back. Okay, so those are all in place. I would suggest snapping them into place first, and then probably doing a dab of glue from behind, if anything. But yeah, that's most of that. So now we need all our little red bits here. Let me get those snipped off and hopefully not shoot one across the room, because, you know, I am the idiot of the internet. So, one second. Okay, so we need to take this tiniest wheel here. I'm going to put that back down for now. And that is going to go right there. And then the bigger wheel, which I'm going to put back down, that's going to go in that hole there. So what I suggest is put a dab of extra thin Tamiya cement and put the wheel in there, and then let it sit for a second, and then just rotate it so you don't see the little white sprue cut on there, and that'll keep you from having to trigger your OCD and repaint the entire wheel like somebody I know. Todd. Okay, one sec. All right, well, we got the remainder of those little wheels installed, and this is the only one. I touched up that little edge right there with the red, come on, the red paint marker. It's not the most perfect match, but once it dries, it'll darken up a little. And again, from a distance, when you're looking in through the outside, you're never going to notice that. And then we got these little bits here. So let's get A snipped off. And is this also white? It is also white. What the heck? Painting, pre-painting. Come on, focus. See? You get that little bit of white there. But honestly, this is a vertical part, and you're probably not going to see the top or bottom of this. Let me get that right in there. This is going to be a very involved issue overall with these four things. They are going to take a little while. So that's that. And I think that's about it for now. I'll be right back. I'm going to let all this set up. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. They got some nice color separation in there. Got to admit, I might touch up a few of these little dots and lines and things with some marker. But yeah, should be fun. Be right back. Well, I screwed up. I thought I hit record, and I clearly didn't. But you didn't miss much. All I did was I glued this one little box on right here. I did give it a little lick of paint with, like, I don't know, this gray green thing, hellgrau, light gray, and I did glue on these two little parts, this and this. So I didn't realize I didn't hit record until the glue had already set, and whatever. It's not like that's earth-shattering. More important, though, than those little things, honestly, my videos, I try to go over, like, the tricky spots that mostly that Todd catches if he builds it before me, which I appreciate when he does. But if he doesn't, then I try to catch the tricky parts myself for you. Or if I run into something that's problematic and I figure out a solution, I like to share those. But Todd did have some very specific tips about fitting this. So you want to make sure you have this gauge facing out and then this thing right here. And we want to take, now is this the bottom? Yes. So this is that. And we want to make sure we have tubes 1 and 3. Which ones are 1 and 3? Why didn't I remember where the numbers were on these things? Was this 1 and 3? No, I don't, is it? It might be. No, it's not. This is 1 and 3. With the open tube right there. That's 1 and 3. And we're going to shove these in the holes, nice and simple. And then there are some little notches right there. But there's also these little tubes at the top. And you got to make sure that you ever so gently make sure you take your tweezers and feed those in there. So just like, it's so hard to get a shot. There we go, contrast. So just like that, that's how you want them in there. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. There's a little tube at the top. So just be very careful with that, okay? One sec. Alrighty. So there's our 4 tubes installed. You can see the pipes all line up in the front there. Very nice. Let's just put this fella down over here somewhere. Okay. So now what we got to do is also, if you notice before, the bottom half of this was white just like the top. So I just painted it flat black. Now, if you don't have an airbrush, and quite a few people who build partwork models don't have airbrushes, they're partwork builders. They don't really do, full on, out of the plastic box, rattly sheets of parts, plastic models. The paint marker works just fine. Just do a couple passes and let it dry in between, and it'll be just fine. I just wanted it to be dark. That was a good point Todd had on his website. So we're just going to literally put this thing together as per the instructions and just line those up with little screw holes there and get a couple of EP screws right there and right there. 1 second. Alrighty. So that's screwed together. That's looking pretty cool. Looking very, very nice. Now we're going to take this part. We got a couple of screw bosses down there and right there. We're just going to put these two together and get two more upside down. We want this one and this one on the bottom, and those line up perfectly. There we go. And two EP screws there and there. So I'll be right back again. Oh, already screwed in, nice and easy. It's starting to look pretty cool. You'll be sleeping with the torpedoes tonight, kids. Okay. So now what we got to do is install the ceiling on here, and there's a couple of this white doesn't want to focus. Screw bosses at the back here, and we want to line those up with the two holes at the back of this panel. And also, we got to get the posts here and here to go in to these bunk bed rails. So that's going to be your primary goal. Hard to show it. Got one, and I think I just about got the second one. Yes. Yes, I do. Yes? Yes. Yes, I do. Okay, so you can see, it's hard to see. I can't get a camera angle on that. But yeah, we're going to get two EP screws here, and then probably two more right here in the front. So just give me a sec. Okay, so it's all screwed together. All these tabs line up nicely, and we can get a look inside. Wait till that's lit up. That'll look even cooler. Ah, very cool. Next up, we got to put the torpedo floor on here. And this fella, there's a little hole right there, it looks like, and two tabs up here. So we get the rear tab and the hole lined up, it looks like, and then get these front tabs in, get this pushed on. Okay, and then another EP screw right in there. 1 sec. Alrighty, well, this is all together. Now we've got to shove it into this. And to make things easier, the recommendation that I saw was to take these two hull panels off the sides in the front. Let's put those screws off to the side for safekeeping. Just like that. Take that one. Carefully put it over there. And this one. Come on. Okay, I think that screws out. Put the parts on, take the parts off. Oh! Ah! Son of a... Okay. Put the screws over there. This over there. So now this is open again. Oh dear. Sorry. COVID throat clearing. I've had an excuse for a while now, at least. So that's quite nice. All right. So what we're going to do is, it looks like these three wires we're going to bring off to the side. We're going to shove this one wire through here. And we're preemptively going to nip half of this square part off of this. Right there. shorten that up. Apparently it has a bit of interference with something inside of there. Keep those above the torpedo tubes. And let's see here. Oh, looks like that's going in. And let's make sure these stay out of the way up here. Like we want these kind of up top. Man, this is just a tick on the fiddly side. Maybe I want to get this one through the middle. I might want to do that. Not sure. Not sure if that's a good idea or not. But that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to take some tweezers. Pull this wire up between the torpedo tubes. There we go. Going through here. There we go. And we got to get this thing up. Oh, let's see. Okay, and we have to flex out this side panel here and this side panel here to get it to slide forward fully, and then positive click. And she's in. So now yep, that's in. Oh boy. Okay. So that was exciting. Let's make sure that's flat. Yep, that's down. That's all nice and in there perfectly. Oh, nice tip, Todd. Looked like, yeah, that could have hit something. So there we go. So now that that's in, wait a second. Aft and out of the way is shown. Wait a second. Ah, now he wanted the cable on the other side. Okay, we're going to shove this out through this other side here, apparently. Wait a second. Oh, really? First you had it going out the other way. All right, one sec. I got to pull this back out. Be right back. Okay, rerouted that cable. Then we want to shove all these cables. There's little notches here that these all will slot into. And we're going to make sure they're all in their little slots. If you follow Todd's website, it tells you where to put every cable, or the regular instructions, I'm sure, too. And then they're all going to kind of generally go this way. And we'll obviously keep tucking those in and routing them somehow here and there in a later stage. And that's it. So that's it for, was that issue 5? I think. Yeah. 4, 5, 5. I think. I'm pretty sure. Whatever. Either way. Oh, I got to put these panels back on. I'm going to get that done. One sec. Okay, so now we're officially done. Our hull panels are back on, and everything is nicely in there. I'm sorry about the focus. For some reason, the white throws off my camera for some reason. It's so annoying. As does chrome. Not quite sure. I'm not a good photographer, though. I'm a good talker, I suppose. A decent model builder, but a crap photographer. But yes, I hope you get an idea of just how big this is going to be. I mean, this is just like a little over a third of the sub of the U-boat, and it's already getting massive. And so far, the entire main hull is all metal. I kind of expect the rest to be the same way, but oh boy, impressive. And yeah, again, if you want to check out the link to subscribe, hello, happens to the worst of us. Check it out below. Go to Hachette. My Amazon store's down there. Like, subscribe, comment, call me a moron, tell me what I did wrong, whatever you want. Yeah, let's have fun in the comments. I'll see you next time, everybody. Adios.